Hey everybody, this is Jonathan from Hexplora, and we are going to play through the Domain of Mirza Noctis. In our last video, we took a look at some of the systems that are kind of going on behind the scenes. In this video, we're going to play a two-hero game. It's just a single player for this game, so I hope you enjoy. Let's take a look at the heroes that I've selected. So I selected the Dark Elf Inquisitor. And we've already been through the kind of the hero creation process. So I've started with the valor that I have, as well as the beginning equipment. And so I've populated my my character card here. And this is Rue, the Dark Elf Inquisitor. And then I've got Egor, our gutter gnome, cursed one. And so I'm playing a utility and a assist hero today. And as you can see, we've got all of our beginning stats and items and gear already set and ready to go. Now I've selected at random 2 keepsakes that I've got placed underneath my heroes in case they die. And then let's go ahead and shuffle our card decks. Okay, card decks are shuffled. Let's go ahead and set up our the day and the night bar here. All right, so we've selected 2 interrupts, and these are investigations that each have the interrupt banner on them. When you begin the game, you're simply just going to shuffle those interrupts back into the deck. They do not happen right away. And one of those was Zelja, the Banshee Queen. So when that interrupt happens in the game, she enters the game board and kind of goes off, and a Banshee is walking the earth. So we don't want her to happen right away. All right. Ooh, look at that. We have 2 discoveries in on the night bar here. We have 1 treasure and 1 event. Oh, those are really good. All right, let's go ahead and draw for the day bar here. We also have 1 treasure. We have 1 nature, and we only have one investigation on the board. Now, when you draw an investigation, you can see on the lower right-hand corner is the rune icon. In this case, it's a blue triangle rune. And then on the upper right-hand corner is the location that we would go to actually play this card. So this is on quadrant C, which is revealed. So we're going to place a blue runestone. It's one of these guys here. Blue runestone. We're going to place that on that location on hex tile C. I'm sorry, on quadrant C, which is right there. All right, so I believe we're kind of ready to go here. I should probably take a few minutes to introduce you to our heroes before we begin. I selected 2 races from the core box of the Gutter Gnome, and we can read that one off here. Often shunned as dregs in the lower cities, Gutter Gnomes couldn't care less. Once per game turn for 1 energy, you may re-roll a 12-sided die or roll a 12-sided die in place of another die. So the Gutter Gnome is going to come in handy because we're rolling that 12-sided die quite a bit in this game. So he also has a 1 food rating. Okay, so that is our race for our cursed one. The race for our Inquisitor is the Dark Elf. And the Dark Elf is, they have lived for centuries deep under the earth. They are malicious, xenophobic, and shunned by the other races. Once per game turn for 2 energy after completing a circumstance, select and play an adjacent circumstance slot. So this is going to allow us, the Dark Elf is going to allow us to manipulate the circumstance bars. And there's, 8 slots, 9 slots if you include the encounter deck here, in the Domain of Mirza Noctis. So our Dark Elf is going to be able to help us get possibly some of these discoveries or possibly even the treasures that we can see here. Okay, so those are our races. Let's take a look at the roles that we've selected. So I've selected the cursed one, Egor. And if we take a look at his first mastery here, Ego may be used, well, actually I should introduce you to the passive first. Passive is at the top. At the start of the game, search for the lowest level non-horde swarm encounter, monstrous humanoid encounter, and gain it as your alter ego. So I've done that, and I have gotten, because his rank is 5, I've gotten the 2nd level monstrous humanoid, which in this case is the Sahuagin. And so this is his alter ego. So our gutter gnome, basically, like when he uses his ego ability, he becomes this buff, like really gigantic, weird-looking fish creature. And so he's going to use that as his ego. All right, so during combat, Ego transforms you into your alter ego until the end of combat. So when I use that ability, that's going to allow me to become this creature. And then I gain a health bonus based on the Sahuagin's health, as well as a penalty to target dice. So when we roll target dice, the cursed one is more likely to become targeted because of his alter ego. Also, Ego can heal a target outside of combat, so he can actually provide a minor amount of healing. It's not a lot. And then if we take a look at the bottom here, increase your current max health by half your alter ego's health and gain a penalty to your target dice rolls. So if Ego is used again during combat, so after I've used it once to transform, then I gain a boost. So let's take a look at that. Boost your next attack rank, or your next attack by Ego rank. So the first time I use it, obviously he changes. The second time I use it in combat, he's going to gain a large amount of bonus to his next attack. So that's pretty good. Okay, and then at rank 6, he gains a special ability unlocked for this one. Now, his rank is currently 5, so he doesn't need too much in order to get that extra bonus. All right, so let's look at the bottom here, speciality. If speciality is used outside of combat, heroes gain a -1 bonus to all skill rolls until the end of that phase. So he can use speciality during the skill phase to give all heroes a bonus to their skills. He could use it during the event phase to give a bonus to stat tests made to try and attempt a investigation. All right, so if it's used in combat after you've transformed into your alter ego, you get to actually perform one of these attacks from your monstrous humanoid. So I can use speciality during combat to, after I've turned in my alter ego, to gain one of these attacks. All right. And I get to boost it by my blue rank, and his speciality rank is only rank 1. So he's not going to be doing a ton of damage with his monstrous humanoid alter ego just yet. He needs a lot more in his blue rank in order to do that. All right, so let's take a look at the Inquisitor. So the Inquisitor also has a passive ability. At the top there, it says, each time your opponent is defeated, record the type as a trophy at the right. So I am going to basically be counting the types of creatures and opponents that we destroy. And as we increase those numbers, he's going to get bonuses. All right, so you deal 1 additional damage for each trophy you possess that shares a type with your target. Increase your master trophy by 1 at left, so that's on the left side of that paragraph there. and it says increase it by 1 each time you gain 2 trophies of the same type. So as we defeat more and more creatures and different things, if he collects 2, for each 2 that he collects, he gets to increase his master trophy. All right, so let's look at Trophy Hunter, his first mastery. You learn the strengths and weaknesses from each opponent you face. This mastery deals Blessed Crossbow plus Trophy Hunter rank. So it's his red plus his purple. And in this case, we have outfitted with our opening gear. And so his beginning rank, beginning damage is 8. So I have to write that in our little hot box here on the side. Okay. Then at rank 6, so he is not currently at rank 6, he's only at rank 3 in his Trophy Hunter, but he's going to get an unlock at rank 6 and another at rank 8. All right, so let's look at Bestiary. You instruct your allies on how to fight your opponent. Until the end of the round, the group gains a bonus to all skill rolls equal to 1/3 Bestiary rank, and reduces all damage taken by 1/3 exploitation rank. So when you use this in combat, our cursed one, he can't give the heroes a bonus to skills during combat, but the Inquisitor can. So his Bestiary allows all heroes to gain a -1. The group gains a bonus to all skill rolls by 1, and he is going to be shutting down some of the damage that the opponents take. And then he also gets something at rank 8 on this particular mastery. All right, so we have 0 gold. We have, 6 food for our Inquisitor. We have 3 food for our cursed one, and we can begin. Now, when you first begin the game for Domain of Mirza Noctis, we need to decide as a group if we're traveling during the daytime, if we're traveling during the nighttime. So if we take a look at these, each one has its pros and cons, and that necessarily won't reveal itself until as that round plays out, as that turn plays out. For instance, we might fight something that is more powerful during the night. We may get a bonus for something played during the day. We just won't necessarily know that until we go through it. And of course, it will drive what types of circumstances we may face. So looking at this, I see 2 discoveries and a treasure during the night. So I think we are going to be traveling at night. So as you begin the game, you are going to roll a 6-sided die, that's the hex die, and you're going to see what village you start in. Now, if you start during the day, you're going to just roll that die and not have a modifier. But we're starting during the night, so we're going to roll the die and add 1. There are 7 villages on the board, so during the day, you have the opportunity to start in villages 1 through 6. During the night, you will start on villages 2 through 7 because you're rolling a 6-sided die and adding 1. Hex. So that means we're starting on village number 7 all the way right over here. Okay, we are playing the game double up. So that means when we gain a rune, we will be gaining another random rune of whenever we gain one. So that is a good thing. Runes in this game are going to be the primary way that our heroes are going to advance and become more strong. Okay. That also means that we start the game with the Reins of Telgemir, which is an item that provides us with a +1 bonus to movement, both moving normally and moving cautiously. So we start the game being able to move at a rate of 5, plus moving cautious is 2 instead of just 1. All right, now moving during the game will kind of decide and change how much Mirza Noctis is able to keep track of us. The faster we move, the further we move, the less likely it is for him to keep tabs on us. The slower we move, he is more likely to have his spies watch our movements, and then we can become penalized accordingly. So it is in our best interest to move as swiftly as we can to avoid the wrath of Mirza Noctis. All right. So I've purchased scaling gear. This is an item that's available in the villages. I've purchased it so that we can actually move into the Orange Mountains. If you do not have scaling gear, you cannot move into those Orange Mountain spaces. You have to go around them. So that is something that we are starting the game with as well. All right, so I think we're kind of ready. We have our dungeon cards set aside on the side here, as well as our blood magic cards. We have the dungeon tiles all the way over here. We have our hex tiles over here. I have all of our tokens and things on the top of your screen. And then I have familiars and other things that we might need later right at the top. All right, so I think we are ready to go. What we're going to do is let's move across the road. So we're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. We've moved 4. We've moved all the way across the road. So that is moving cautiously. And we get to the edge of the map. So that means we're going to place another map. The Fog of War lifts. And that reveals a monastery for us. So, and that monastery is right along a river. So we could continue. Let's see if we want to just place it here. Let's do it. So we're going to place that right there. So we could move one more and move along the river, or we could break our movement and then we would not be moving cautiously. Moving cautiously is going to give Noctis +1 to his D12 roll. Although, I tell you what, our gutter gnome can re-roll a 12-sided die. So I think we're going to just move cautiously. The first round of the game, first turn of the game, we're going to just move one more. We've moved all of our movement across a river or a road. So that means we've moved cautiously. Next is the circumstance phase. We're going to roll our circumstances for each of our heroes. I'm sorry. Not circumstances, our skills. We're going to roll our skills for each of our heroes. So let's take a look. We have, that's a cocked die. Let's go ahead and re-roll that. Oh, that's a hex. All right, so we rolled a hex on Navigate. When you roll a critical success during the skill phase, something good could happen. So let's read that. If any hero critically succeeds in their Navigate skill, they have saved the group from wandering this turn. They may move one additional hex or may place one clue on an open investigation of their choice. So we could go ahead and place a clue down, or we could move one more. Let's go ahead and move one more, and we're going to open up more of the map. That's good. So we've crit successfully, we've crit succeeded or Navigate. It's going to mean that we get to move one more in any location we choose. We're going that way. It's north for me. It's a different direction for you guys. And as you can see, there we go. So we have drawn hex tile I, and there is a, let's see, a random boss location on this map. So let's actually move that just like that. Okay. So what else? 6 fails, 7 fails. We have to eat. 7 fails, 5 fails, 4 fails. So the Inquisitor has failed everything during this skill phase. Our Dark Elf has possibly just woken up from a stupor. All right, so next during the game here, we are going to go into the circumstance phase. We've done our movement, our skill. We're going to roll on this side of the table. We're going to roll a hex die. And we moved cautiously, so we don't necessarily have to take this result if we don't want to. And it's a hex. So this is a encounter draw. And this is bait and switch. Dangerous forces continue to pierce the veil around you. They are just beyond your senses, but you can surely feel them. Instead of facing an encounter now, draw an additional encounter and place face down on top of the day deck, night deck, and power-up deck. The next time you draw a card from one of these decks, you must first face the encounter and then draw normally. Okay, so we have to actually place a power encounter on each of these decks. And we will have to face that encounter before we draw one of those cards. So that's an interesting one. Let's place that in our discard pile. All right, so at least we didn't fight anything now, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to fight something later. And in fact, I think it's high time that we use our Dark Elf's ability. So once per game turn for 2 energy, after completing a circumstance, we just completed the encounter, select and play an adjacent circumstance slot. So I can play the knight slot 4 because that is the adjacent slot. So that's 2 energy. And let's see what Guild Headquarters does. Guilds are often populated with men and women seeking to change the world. Place the guild token on this location. All right, so we have to find the guild token. I've got it right here. I'm going to place it right here. Each hero may pay 1 gold to heal to full vitals here. During the event phase, reveal 6 cards from either the day or night deck. Attach any investigations drawn to slots containing other revealed investigations. Okay, each slot may contain up to 3 cards. Shuffle all cards back into their deck. The new investigations must be played as if they shared the same location as the original investigation. The guild headquarters roams after revealing new cards. All right, so during the event phase, it's still the event phase. Reveal 6 cards from either the day or night deck. And you attach any investigations drawn to slots containing other revealed investigations. So the only revealed investigation is on the day side. So I'm going to be drawing cards from there and get that. Look at that. We have to face that encounter. So let's flip over this encounter. And it is dire rats, a creature swarm. So we have to face these dire rats before we can go further. And this is going to provide us with some food and some gold by the looks of it. So let's take a look at this. This is an Outlast opponent. That means they do not have health or energy. So this isn't necessarily an opponent that we can basically hack to death with our sword and our magic. This is an opponent that we simply have to outlast. There's just too many of them. There's this horde of dire rats that are just kind of coming out of nowhere. They've kind of followed us. Looks like we're just south of the river, and we've found this guild headquarters. So here they are, creature swarm. Now this is looks to be the 3 stats that we're able to roll are navigate, survival, and explore. So that's the 3 skills right underneath the Outlast value. And if you can note, the Outlast value is 2 plus 1 per hero. We have 2 heroes. That means their initial Outlast is 4. All right. So what I'm going to do, we both have rank 5 in survival. So I think we're both going to roll our survival. Egor rolls a 5, and that is a success. Rue rolls a 10. That is a critical fail. All right, so that does nothing for us. In fact, he is going to be open to whatever attack these things are doing. He sure is still in that stupor. So let's see what happens. The Egor is going to be reducing Outlast by 1 for his success. At the end of the round, Outlast automatically reduces itself by 1. So that is another 1 that is going to be reduced on this card. Rue has failed, so let's see what the dire rats do to us. And that's a 1, so a result of 1. Those who fail suffer 1 piercing health damage. So Rue is down to 8 health. Egor suffers nothing because he rolled survival and he made it. And that means that he is immune to this ability this turn. All right, so we are down to 2 Outlast left. And again, I think we're going to do the same thing. We're going to roll survival. That's our biggest chance. Roll a 4 for Egor. And we roll another 10. So our Dark Elf, I think he has drunk too much moonshine, I believe, in this journey. Let's just say that our Inquisitor, he is not ready for this. But we have a success for the cursed one. And we're going to be reducing it again by 1 at the end of the round. So they will be dead at the end of this turn. Let's see what they do. And it is a hex. So this is against Explore. Now, we didn't roll Explore, so both of the heroes are going to be suffering from this particular action. So those who fail become diseased. Oh, and you lose all items with the food subtype. Now, we're not carrying any items with the food subtype. There are several in this game. There's moonshine, there's mysterious meat pies, there's another one that you can get is the suspicious stew. So these are all items that basically can be converted into food when you need them. You would lose all those. So thankfully, we don't have any, we don't lose any, but we're diseased. That's terrible. So let's see what diseased does to us. If I can find the proper, here it is, our placard with all of our conditions on it. So this is the placard that is on the back side of our first game turn card, and diseased. Diseased heroes who wish to use energy must first succeed on a survival roll. In order to rid yourself of the condition, you must heal in a location that provides healing. Well, look at that. We're actually on the guild headquarters, and if you remember, we can spend a gold to heal here. So we can actually get rid of this in this location. I think we've lucked out. Now, our heroes don't have any gold, but we've just destroyed the dire rats, and they give us 1 gold and 4 food. So I'm not going to write down the gold. We're just going to take that, and we are going to use it to heal and get rid of our diseased state. That could have been bad. We're also going to increase our food accordingly here, and we are now carrying a full amount of food from the dire rats. I don't know. Do you guys think we should eat it? Oh, so one thing, you guys, check this out. On the bottom of the of this card, I should have read this at the beginning, but it says during the night, this is a +2 Outlast encounter. So not only do we not get this stuff just yet, they are still alive. They have 1 more Outlast. They would have been reduced to, let's see. They had 2. We got 2 successes. We had 1 at the end of the round, so they'll be at 1 Outlast remaining. So we've got to do 1 more. I think we'll just do our survival again. It is the highest likelihood of us actually getting it. We have a failure here. We have a hex here. So let's roll for those dire rats one more time. We get a 2. It is survival. So our cursed one suffers 1 piercing damage. All right, it's not going to really matter because we are healing at this location afterwards. We heal to full vitals. We gain that food, and that encounter is done. Now, the Inquisitor gets to write down on his sheet here that he's taken out a creature and a horde or a swarm. So if you will note on the little sidebar here, I've put a 1 in both the creature and horde and swarm boxes. So that is going to allow us to get a little bit more powerful a little later. All right. So now we are going to reveal 6 cards, attach any investigations drawn, and then shuffle other cards back in. So we have an investigation, we have an aid, interrupt. Oh, wow. Okay. So here's what happens. So the 2 cards that were not investigations get shuffled back into the day deck. Now, we only have 1 slot, and this card says each slot may contain up to 3 cards. Shuffle all other cards back into their decks. So we actually, let's see, we have an Explorer, and you could just pick which ones. Let's just do these 3. Let's do those 3. I'm going to shuffle this one back into the deck. Oh, sorry, 2. So, shuffle 2. Okay. So we have drawn 2 more investigations, and we are going to place both of these investigations on this 1 slot. And that is basically going to mean that all 3 of these investigations can be played right here. That is going to be a huge bonus for us because, oh my gosh, and look at all 3 are blue triangles. So we will come out of this with 3 blue triangle runes, plus we're getting double up. Double up. We should have had 1 extra gold. So we will actually be getting 6 runes if we complete that location. So that's a huge one. All right, so that is the end of our event phase. It has been an eventful evening for us. Now we are going to play so this one is going to actually just be placed here. And we have to fill a slot. We have to fill the slot, which means we have to play another encounter. So it's not the day is not done yet. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so all of a sudden, the middle of the night, we actually find ourselves facing a Nightgeist. And this is a spirit encounter. And check that out. He's level 5. He's level 5 and he's Agus. Now, Agus is something new in Domain of Mirza Noctis. It actually means that it's harder for you to attack these types of creatures. It's kind of like simulating you need a magical weapon in order to deal damage to these things. So if you'll note in the upper left-hand corner, he has an orange shield, and there's a gear upgrade icon right below it. And that gear upgrade icon means that you need to have at least that number of gear upgrades shown in attack in order to deal health damage to this opponent. So if we look at the opponent's vitals, we see that he has 22 health, 22 influence, and 20 energy. And we don't have that amount of gear upgrades. So we are going to be forced to flee from this guy. We can't do it. So we have to run. We can't do it. I mean, it'll give us a power up. It'll give us 24 gold, but man, there's no way we can take him on. We don't have enough gear upgrades. Now we could have our cursed one do some influence. His attack can actually damage influence If you'll note there, he has the influence icon next to his attack. But his attack rank is only 3, so we would have to survive, like 8 or 9 turns just to get him down from 22 to 0. So we're not going to do it. Now, the other thing is this opponent is tethered. So that means he can die by reducing his energy to 0. But, again, we don't have a way to deal energy damage. So we just... What is our cursed one? What can he do? 3 health and survival. Nope. Piercing health. Yeah, his even his special ability when he gets turned into his alter ego, this can't do energy damage, so we have to run. All right, so running, fleeing in combat. We are going to roll our navigate. You get a -2 bonus to the roll. So we are going to roll for the cursed one. A 5 -2 is a 3. He runs away. The Inquisitor also is running. Let's see what he does. And he gets a 2, which is also a success. So he is running away. We have successfully fled battle. Now, you don't suffer any of the damage from this guy if you successfully flee. If one of us had failed, they would have had to stay in battle, and then they would have had to suffer whatever the attack was that round. So we're going to put that card away. But after we do that, we have to wander. So check it out. There's a boss right next door to us. So we could actually wander into a boss location. Oh, that's terrible. We're on like turn 1, and we have fought 2 encounters. We've found a discovery. And we've placed all of these extra investigations. It's been a good round so far. Let's see if we can dodge a bullet. 2. All right. So we manage to wander back from where we came from. And so we are using the wander graphic on the side here to wander in the direction rolled. So in this case, it's this way. All right. So we have done that. We are going to refill the slot. And we get Blood Lord Requiem. And that is actually another blue. This is another blue investigation. And if you'll note, it is on quadrant A. And so I will place the blue token. Let's see, this is going to be on A, which is all the way over here, right there. So it looks like we should go in that way, that direction. Okay. So at the end of that game turn, we are going to have the villain phase. We've moved, we've rolled skills, we've done our circumstance, we've done our event. Oh, the guild headquarters roams after you use it. So we have to roam. We're going to roll a 6-sided die for direction and a 6-sided die for the amount of distance moved. So that's a 4. That direction is this way. And 2. So it's actually the guild headquarters has just moved onto the monastery. Oh man, that means we could play it again and place another set of investigations right over here. That's pretty good. Okay, so villain phase. We moved cautiously, if you will remember. There we go. Cautiously is going to be a +1 to whatever we roll on the 12-sided die. So we're going to roll that, and it's a 10. That's going to be a +1, and that means our first collector has arrived. So we have moved during the night. And again, during the night, you're going to roll a d6 and add 1. So that's 6. So on Village 6, which is all the way over here, we are going to place our first blood collector. All right, and so now at the end of every game turn, Noctis is gathering 1 blood per turn, and that will increase as the game goes on. So that is the end of our first game turn. All right, turn 2. So we've seen that our guild headquarters has roamed right on top of the monastery. I think we're going to go there. And also, let's go ahead and actually move during the day to try and get a clue placed on top of this triple investigation. That is going to be super helpful if we can do that. So moving during the day, we're going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. All of our movement has been on a river or a road. So that is cautious. We've moved cautiously. We're going to roll our skills. Oh, you know what? We're not actually going to be playing an investigation or a circumstance this turn because we would be ending on a monastery. That's okay. Oh, look at that. So we rolled a hex actually on navigate. We rolled a 2 on survival and a 5 on explore. That hex on navigate, that's going to give us something good. Let's see what that does. So again, you can either move the group another hex, or you can place a clue on an open investigation of your choice. Perfect. We're going to place that clue right on top of that slot with the 3 investigations. That's going to hopefully help us perform those investigations. So we've unearthed some clues. All right, we're going to roll for our Inquisitor next. Crit fail. Not a crit fail, but fail. So our Dark Elf, despite him not having any moonshine anywhere on his person, he is still not producing results for our heroes. Egor, thankfully, is picking up that slack. All right, so we're done with the skill phase. We need to eat some food. We both failed that. And we both failed on getting any extra treasure. So we are going to skip the circumstance phase, go right to the event, and we find we're on the guild headquarters. So we can actually now use this again. We can draw again 6 cards, and I think we're gonna draw for the night this time. We only have 1 investigation in play shown up on the day side, and we only have 1 on the night side, and you can only have 3 on any given slot. So we're going to draw 6 cards. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, 4. Oh, there's 1. 5. There's another. And 6. Okay, so some of these have to go away. Let's place these back in, and we will shuffle. All right, that leaves us with the following 2 investigations. We have the Deadlands, a survival investigation, and we have the Mad Alchemist, a bounty. So that's going to complicate things a little bit, because that means we actually have to face the Mad Alchemist in order to actually do this this series. All right, so we are going to place those right underneath that slot. And now we have 6 open investigations on the board, taking up only 2 slots. That's 12 runes available, possibly, if we can get them in those 2 spots on the map. That's huge. After we play the guild headquarters, they will roam. So we're going to roll a 6-sided die. We roll a 1 for direction. That's back that way, the way they came. And a 5. They're moving quite far this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the way over to the side. It doesn't look like we're going to be utilizing them again in the future. We're headed that way. All right, so thus ends that event phase. We are still in the event phase because we are on the monastery. Now, if we take a look at this monastery placard here, you skip the circumstance phase. You heal all lost vitals and negate any ongoing conditions and afflictions upon entering. We can see that most items, many items have been locked away in the crypts. And so on the back of this placard, you're going to see several little tables that are segmented with these key icons. And so for each crypt we unlock, you will actually be unlocking more items on this placard. So we only have access to the top. We haven't unlocked a crypt yet. So we only have access to those few at the top there. We only have 1 gold. So I think what we'll do is let's buy some holy water. Yeah, holy water for 2. So that's going to be both of our gold, and let's give it to the cursed one. He's going to carry some holy water. All right. And thus ends the amount of gold we can spend at the monastery, ending our event phase. So, moving along into the villain phase, Noctis is basically increasing his blood pool by 1. There's 1 collector on the board now. Okay, and so in fact, I'm just going to draw that here. Then we are going to roll the 12-sided die. We moved cautiously, so that is a +1 to the roll. So we're going to roll that, and it's a 12. Oh, no. Do we want to have our gutter gnome use an energy? Let's have our gutter gnome use an energy to re-roll a 12-sided die. Our gutter gnome, some way, somehow, has the ability to outwit Noctis. So we're going to spend 1 energy to re-roll that 12-sided die, because we don't want a result of a 12. And it's a result of an 8. So, plus the 1 is a 9. Place a collector in a random village. All right, so he's gaining another collector on the board. We move during the day, so we're going to roll a 6-sided die. We're not going to add anything to it, and that is 1. So we're going to take one of these dice, these 3-sided dice, and we're going to use the side that says 1. That's going to represent that 1 collector is in the first village. Okay. All right, so that is game turn number 2 down. Next is our turn. Let's go ahead and move to the end of the map here, the edge of the map. We'll go 1, 2. Actually, we'll go up here, 1, 2. And let's draw, check it out. We have another monastery has revealed itself. So let's place that right here. Then we'll go 3, 4, 5. We're still moving normally. So we'll place another hex tile on the board. And check it out, we have our first crypt. So we are going to place that guy next to us. I think we want to try and get there if we can. All right. And that is the end of our movement phase. We've moved normally. So let's roll our skills. 10, 4, 6. That is a 4 is a success. He doesn't use any food. 10 fails, and the green fails for our navigate. Rue, let's see if he's coming back. Oh, look at that. So he actually made navigate, which saves us from wandering. He made explore with a hex. So that means we gain the hex bonus for that round. And that, take a look. If you critically succeed, your hero gains 2 gold and each hero heals 1 lost health, or you can place a clue. So we are going to gain a clue here. And let's put it on this same one right over here. All right, that's good. Very good. He misses his survival, so he's going to use up some of his food this turn. Then we have our circumstance. Now, we're still moving during the day. It's important for us to try and get those clues for this set here that we're going for. So let's go ahead and roll the 6-sided die and see what circumstance we have. And it's a 2. So that is Meteor Shower. This is a nature event. Unavoidable. So, meteor shower, a fireball crashes through the sky just above you, lighting the entire region. It ends in a deafening rumble. You've heard of a secret cult of magicians who can pull down valuable minerals from the heavens. For the next 4 game turns, anyone who succeeds their explore roll during the skill phase finds 1 sky medal. You may trade 1 sky medal for 1 gear upgrade of your choice in any location that sells items. That's amazing. Next 4 game turns, we need to just camp and look for this stuff. So a meteor shower is sending precious, valuable ore down into the land. We're definitely going to try and work on this. So I'm going to use a 4-sided die, or 6-sided die, to count down that we have this ongoing. So for the next 4 game turns, we are going to be able to do that. And that could mean 8 collective gear upgrades for us if we can make it. So that's pretty awesome. All right. Of course, it comes with a cost, right? If we camp, that's going to give Noctis a little bit of a leg up on us. So, a push and pull here. Do we want to do it? Who knows? All right, so we just played slot number 2. We're going to draw a card and place this down, and we see that the Alaroon is a bounty card that has been revealed on this location. So that is located, let me just show you guys that card. So the Alaroon is a boss, I believe it's level 4 or 3. We have a green rune attached to it, and it is on the map. It's on quadrant A, which is all the way down here, which is, yep, right next door to that other blue one. All right, so let's use the Dark Elf's ability. We are going to use his ability, spending 2 energy, go down to 5. He is going to spend his ability to allow us to play another slot adjacent to the one we just played. We just played number 2. That means we could select either the treasure, or we can select this one for the 3. I think we want to go for the treasure. Let's read it. Zabaro's hand cannon. This unique contraption spits fire and shrapnel made of silver. It resembles the other revolving pistols that have slowly made their way into the realm, but this one is exquisitely fashioned. You may use this item once every 3 rounds in combat, along with an attack or defend action. Roll the moon die twice. Each die explodes on a result of a hex or 12. Deal health damage to your opponent equal to the result. This damage ignores an opponent's Aegis value. This could have come in real handy against that Nightgeist that we could not fight. So yes, we are taking this treasure, and I'm going to give it to the Cursed one. The Cursed one is going to be carrying Zabaro's hand cannon, because get this, the Gutter Gnome can re-roll a 12-sided die. So that means this card works really well with the Gutter Gnome. All right. We are going to take another card from the day deck and replace that slot. and we find another investigation called the Hidden Forge. This one is on hot tile J, which is not revealed. So I'm going to place that there. And there we have our circumstance phase. There's no event where we're located. We didn't wander. And that means we're going right into the villain phase. Now there are 2 collectors on the board. So Noctis goes from having 1 blood to having 3 blood. Okay, and then we're going to roll. Now we moved normally, so that is a net 0. There's nothing that's going to modify this roll. Let's see what happens. And it's a 10. Another collector shows up in the villages. We move during the day, roll a d6. It's a hex, so that is city number 6. Right over here, we've already rolled it. So this 1 turns into a 2. Because there's already a collector there. Another collector shows up. We're going to place this down on the and to show it 2. So now we get 2 blood from this village, 1 blood from this village. 3 blood every turn is going to the Night Lord. Moving on to the next one. So this is going to go down by 1. Down to 3. All right, and it's our turn. So we have to face an encounter. It's going to be tenacious. We're going to prepare for that. Let's go ahead and move during the night here. Even if it actually is amplified at night, or if this encounter becomes worse or harder to fight at night, I think we want to try and get something on this side here. So we'll take a chance, unless we want to try for the Zealous Bard. We could do that. Guys, I don't know. Should I go for the day, or should I go for the night? Maybe we'll do the day one more time, and we'll try not to get that. That will give us a little bit of a chance against a tenacious encounter. All right, so we'll move during the day. We're going to roll our skills. We're at a -2. Let's go ahead and use another. We'll use another potion, another ability here, his speciality, to give us a -1 bonus to that roll. So we are at a -2 for camping, a -1. We're net -3 to our bonus to our rolls here. A 3 and a 10, a 10 on yellow. So we don't get a another sky medal. However, we do make the other 2 with hexes. So that means we can place down 2 more clues. Let's place them, 1 over here on the L rune, and let's place 1 on this one. Actually, that's J. We don't have that one showing up here. So this one is actually the one on A. So we're going to place the other one right here. All right. Then we have the other hero here, Rue. We have 9 turns into a 6, is a failure. No sky medal again. We have a success and a failure. Okay. So we don't need to eat food at least. And then we have our circumstance. We don't actually get to roll for a circumstance because we have to face that tenacious encounter. Tenacious Necromancer. We are facing a tenacious Necromancer. Draw an encounter. It enters combat as its minion and the type changes to undead. Half the damage the Necromancer receives is redirected to its minion, and then you discard after the battle. All right, so we are going to take this, and it is cannibals. So our Necromancer has a group of undead. They were cannibals in life. Now, obviously, they are very much not. And we get to face both in combat here. So let's grab the battle mat. We have the Necromancer with 16 health and 20 energy. He's a level 4. We have the Cannibals with 7 health and 4 energy. So I'm just showing both of those on our battle mat here. All right, so they're tenacious. We can't run from them. Necromancer. Looks like he can do single 8 energy, energy drain, corrosive health. The Cannibals are going to be able to do something. So yeah, I think what we need to do is really do some damage if we can here. So I'm going to have the Inquisitor go ahead and roll, or not roll, he's going to use Trophy Hunter, expending 1 energy to deal 8 health damage to the Necromancer. Half the damage the Necromancer receives is redirected to his minion. So we have to see if the Necromancer is going to defend or block any of that before we transfer it to the other one. All right, our Gutter Gnome. Let's go ahead and use Zabaro's Hand Cannon. You can use it once every 3 rounds in combat, along with an attack or a defend action. I think he's going to defend and use Zabaro's Hand Cannon. We get to roll the moon die twice. I have 2 here, so we're going to roll. If we get a hex or a 12, these will re-roll, and we get to add the damage together equal to the result. And it's a hex and a 7. So that's 8 damage plus 8. So that's, and it's another hex. 9 damage plus 6. 15 damage. 15 damage coming into the coming into the Necromancer. All right, let's see what the Necromancer does. And it enters combat as its minion as typed, so it's the Cannibals are going to get to act as well. So let's go ahead and roll. We rolled a 3, so that is group 5 energy drain, and the Necromancer summons another minion. Draw another encounter. It acts next round. So wow, group 5 energy. So we go down to 0 energy. It is energy drain, so, oh no. Oh, this is bad. Actually, he goes back to 7 health. He defended, so he's only taking 2. Awesome, okay. So we have Egor with 1 energy remaining. The Inquisitor has 0 energy remaining. And let's see what that did to the vitals. So we have, whoops, I lost my eraser here. So that 8 becomes a 4, and that 15 becomes a, let's say, an 8 and a 7. So we currently have 11 damage coming into the Cannibals. They will die. So we've defeated the Cannibals, and we have 8 and 4 damage going toward the Necromancer. That's going to be 12 total. So he is down to 4 health remaining. His ability was a mastery that caused him to lose 3 energy. So at the end of that game turn, the Cannibals will go away, but the Necromancer is at 4 health and 17 energy. Let's see what the Cannibals did to us this round. A 2. Dual 1 piercing health and survival. Those who fail gain bleeding and may not be healed this round. Oh, so we have dual 2 targets. They're both going to get hit. They both take 1 piercing health damage. We go down to 8 and 6. And then we have to roll survival. And now we have been camping. We have a -2 bonus to the roll. So 3 minus 2 is a hex. 7 minus 2 is a 5. We have 5 for our rank for survival. So they both barely manage to get away with not bleeding from these undead cannibals. Now, the Necromancer used his ability to summon another minion. So we are going to draw another minion, and that is Bewitched Tools. So the Necromancer is basically using bewitched tools to basically come at us. So he is a mage and has summoned these. Thankfully, it's a level 1, and they only have 6 health. So I think we're going to be able to take him out here. All right. Hey, and check it out. You remember how we were debating on whether we were going to move during the day or during the night, and we decided to move during the day? Well, it's a darn good thing because the Necromancer would have had evasion of 8. So thankfully he doesn't, and I'm glad that we made that decision. All right, so moving on to the next phase. We are going to go into our declaration phase. We have no energy. The Inquisitor has no energy, so he has to just do a base attack. He's going to do a base attack of 5 damage. Oh, hey. We don't need to end our round last turn just yet. Egor has favored opponent against humanoids, and the Necromancer is a humanoid. So not only did he get Zavaro's hand cannon damage, but he also gets to roll a 6-sided die as damage, and it's a hex. And guess what that means? He is dead. 6 plus 3 is 9 extra damage that Egor has dealt to our Necromancer. So at the end of that battle, he's just about to summon these bewitched tools to attack us. I don't know, like shovels and rakes. Maybe, I don't know, we're in a pumpkin field or something. And we managed to destroy him. Now, the bewitched tools will go away. They go away during that round. But we do gain the bonuses for these 2. So let's check it out. We're playing double up. We get 10 gold from the Necromancer and 2 gold from the cannibals. So 12 gold total. That's pretty great. And we get, we fill up on food. We can't carry it all, but that's okay. We were down. And then also the Necromancer, if you'll check it out there on the side, he actually has a the hex tile icon. And that means when you vanquish this opponent, you also get to increase the map, and that fog of war lifts. So he had a map on him that we just took a look, and let's see what we have. Looks like our first, our very first crypt is on the board. Oh, sorry, we already have a crypt. So put this here, and I'll tell you what. I did not put a locked icon on these crypts, so we got to do that. So a locked token to denote that these are yet locked. We have not unlocked them yet. All right, so that is it. We are done with that phase. Pretty good phase. We fought an encounter. We could have our dark elf. He has no energy. Let's use a potion. We're going to use a potion. He's going to get back 2 energy. And then he's going to use his racial ability for 2 energy to place another clue on the board. We're basically going to use another slot. Oh no, actually, we were traveling during the day, so that would be the Zealous Bard. Let's do that. So we are going to pick up the Zealous Bard. An overly zealous bard forcibly joins your party in hopes of narrating your stories through verse and song. The zealous bard may roll a stat test outside of combat whenever one is required. His stats are each rank 4. Gain a -1 bonus to this roll if the group vanquished an opponent last game turn. During combat, while the zealous bard is alive, the group receives a +1 penalty to stat tests. So while he is in the group, we actually are going to gain a penalty when we're fighting an opponent. but he can actually help us try and roll for that sky medal. So that's pretty awesome. Additionally, whenever the group camps in a village, each hero gains 4 gold. Okay, so he has 7 health, 4 defend each turn, and he joins our group. Okay, so we've just done the event phase, the circumstance phase. We need to draw another card, and that is Luring Shadows. It looks like a red rune. Investigation on quadrant A, which is going to be right over here. So a lot on the eastern side of the map. Moving into the event phase, no event. We're not on an event location. That means it's Noctis's turn. We camped again. So that's another +2 to whatever we roll. And he's gaining 3 more blood. He's up to 9 blood. And let's roll to see what he does. 3 + 2 is a 5. Group 1 piercing health damage. So we each take 1 piercing health damage. Okay. And then at the end of the turn, this rolls over and goes down to a 2. And let's see, let's camp here again. I think it's a good idea for us to try and get this sky medal. It's going to be a great thing to try and get. And then maybe what we do is we try and enter the crypt. Yeah, not a bad idea. Enter the dungeon. All right, so we're going to camp in place. We get to heal 3 and 3. I think it's 3 and 3. Yep, 3 and 3. Okay. Then we're going to roll our stats. And again, we're getting a -3 bonus to the roll now. Let's go ahead and use Egor's ability to grant us another bonus, a +1 to that. So instead of a -3, it's a -4 to our skill rolls. So let's see what we can do. 5, 5, 5. Okay, here it comes. Check it out. 5, 5, and 5. -4 is a hex, hex, and hex. So when that happens, we actually gain something really good. Multiple critical successes. In addition to the normal bonuses, draw 1 power up. Each hero gains the bonus. So we are each getting a power up. Or I'm sorry, you just draw 1 and then you gain the bonus. Hey, check it out. First draw the power up, we have a encounter that we're going to need to fight. All right, and then we also gain the other critical successes. So in addition to the normal bonuses, so we have 2 gold. Not suffering any food loss. We can move 1 extra hex because of the navigate. So we're going to move 1 extra. And then we are going to roll for the Inquisitor, because this happens before we draw the power up. 3, 8, and 7. The 8 is a -4. So that is a success on yellow. So we get 2 gold here. We make the survival. We make everything over here as well. But we do get a crit success on survival. So let's place the clue right over here. Okay, so a couple things. We have just drawn a power-up. Before we can play that, we have to face that encounter. We each got a sky medal this time. And we have the Zealous Bard. So let's see what he can do. The Zealous Bard may roll a stat test outside of combat whenever one is required. Let's roll stat test for Explore and see if we gain another Sky Medal. And he has his rank is a 4. So a 3. He gets us a Sky Medal. So that's great. We have 3 Sky Medals over here, and we have 2 Sky Medals over here. All right, let's face that encounter. It's the Floating Eye. So we are facing a Floating Eye. We're next to a Crypt. It doesn't surprise me, to be perfectly honest. All right, so this is during the day. Let's grab our battle mat here and reset for this combat. It has 8 health. And it's going to give us 3 gold and 1 food. Actually, 6 gold and 1 food. All right, so we are going to, let's just do Blessed Crossbow for 5. And then one thing I need to do is I need to actually write down on our Inquisitor. The Inquisitor actually gained some trophies from that last combat, so I need to include that. So he killed a humanoid for the Necromancer, and he destroyed an undead as well. And after that, he has Hunter's Gear, so he would have healed 1 additional energy. All right, so all that said, he is going to be doing a basic attack for 5 damage, and the cursed one will use that hand cannon one more time. So that's an 11, and oh my god. Egor is obliterating the Floating Eye with the hand cannon. He sees it from, 15, 20 feet away, and he's doing 23 damage, plus another 11. That's 34 damage. 34 damage with the hand cannon. That is just insanity. All right, so let's see what the Floating Eye does to us. He rolls a hex. Single. Okay, well, hang on. Let's take a look at the passive first. So on this card, heroes who critically fail a stat test become disoriented until the end of combat. Well, thankfully, we've been camping. We actually just did move, so that gets rid of our camping bonus, but that's okay. All right, so single, 3 corrosive health and survival. Those who fail become debilitated. Cursed one has defended and used the item, so he's going to take no corrosive health damage, but he does have to roll that survival. He rolls a critical failure, so he would become disoriented and debilitated, but because it's the end of the round and the enemy is dead, nothing happens. So our Inquisitor, however, has suffered some damage, so we're going to reduce accordingly. Our Zealous Bard was defending for 4, and he is also going to not take any. So we lucked out on that one. I can just imagine Egor, our gutter gnome, hammering down on this Zabaro's hand cannon and hitting the Floating Eye in one shot right through the eye. All right, so he's dead, and our Inquisitor gains a +1 to magical nature. And as you can see, he's starting to fill up. You can see those 1s on the side of his mastery there. He's got almost 1 of everything. So it's pretty good. Floating Eye goes away. We get 6 gold and 1 food. Can't carry the food. I don't think we would actually have any food salvageable. Maybe the wings from that last shot of Zabaro's hand cannon. All right, moving on. We are going to be in the villain phase. So that is going to be Noctis gains 3 blood. He's up to 12 blood now. And we're going to roll the 12-sided die. And it's a 9. So another collector appears. We move during the day. So we are going to... actually, hang on. I'm doing things a little bit out of order, and it was because of that event, that the circumstance that we had fought, the encounter that we had fought, it was actually on top of the day deck. So hang tight. We actually get a power up first. So we draw the power up. This was during the skill phase. We got all 3 crit successes for the cursed one. We haven't played the circumstance yet. So this is going to be given to all heroes, okay? So choose one. We can either choose a +1 to our first mastery or a +2 to health. So let's go and do first mastery over here. And let's do first mastery over here. All right. Noctis killed hundreds. They have simply vanished. He must be brought to justice. And this is a -1 blood card. Okay, so when we get to the villain phase, then we will have a -1 to that roll. All right, so now is the circumstance phase. We're going to roll a d6. It is a 3. We already have 3 clues on the board, so we're not going to place another one. And that's the end of our circumstance phase. Moving into the Noctis phase, now we're going to roll the d12, and we have a -1 bonus because of this, but a +2 bonus from our camping. So it's a net +1 to this roll. And it's a 12. All right, so we roll again twice. So we have a 7 and an 8. The group must face a tenacious encounter next turn, and one of us is suffering 1 critical health damage. So if we take a look at the critical, not the conditions, we're looking at the keywords sheet here. So the keywords sheet describes critical damage and critical wounds. Anytime a hero suffers at least 1 critical damage, they gain a critical wound. Each hero may only sustain a number of critical wounds equal to 3 plus their food rating, a maximum of 6. So 3 plus our food rating over here is 4. Our cursed one can only suffer 4 and he's dead. And our Inquisitor is 5. His food rating is 2. So we need to get a target, and one of these targets are going to suffer a critical damage. Let's go ahead and roll. Let's say yellow for the Inquisitor, a 10 and a 2. The Inquisitor is suffering 1 critical health damage. So that eye maybe possibly, caused a critical wound on our Inquisitor. Maybe it was planted there by Noctis. Okay, and that is the end of game turn number 6. We go down to 1 turn left on the Meteor shower to find Sky Metal. So let's try and find another one. We're going to camp here because we had moved, even we roamed, or we wandered, I should say. We lost our -4. It's now only a -1 again. So we're going to roll all 3 of our dice. Let's go ahead and have the cursed one give us another -1 to that roll. Now again, we have to face a tenacious encounter this turn. So we'll have to keep that in mind. Let's let's go during the night. We're going to move during the night only because I want to try and get this Lantern of Ways. I think that's going to be a really good treasure for us to have. And we've kind of maxed out our clues on this side, so we're going to move during the night, and hopefully we don't fight anything that is going to just destroy us. We'll see. Hex on Navigate. That means we could put a clue out. Put one right here. Then we have a 5 minus 2. That's a success. And a 6 minus 2 is also a success. We find another sky metal. All right. And then our Inquisitor. Minus 2 to the roll. 6 is a 4. That's a miss. 8 is a 6. Is a miss. 4 is a success. We find another sky metal. So we have found 3 sky metal for our Inquisitor. Rue. And Egor has found 4. Now let's roll for our Zealous Bard, and he has to roll a 4 or lower. He is now in the party and gaining a bonus from our Cursed One's ability. He is also gaining bonus because we have camped here. So he also gets a -2. And that's a 2, is a crit success. One of us gets another sky metal. And again, that sky metal is going to allow us to, when we go to a place that sells items, we are going to be able to trade those for gear. So that is going to be awesome. All right, so that is the skill phase. So we both got some gold. And now we have an encounter, a tenacious encounter. And it is the Hanged Man. Now this is an undead. Okay, so the Inquisitor has he's faced one undead opponent, so he's going to be gaining 1 additional damage to this guy. So let's go ahead and write this one down on the battle mat. We have 4 health and 4 energy. And it's going to give us a clue and 1 gold and 2 food, 2 gold and 2 food for double up. And now we are going to deal 10 damage. 10 damage. And then I think the rest we're just going to defend. And this is undead, so let's see what he does. 5. Oh, and this is at night. It's at night. So remember how I said that we were going to just kind of, chance it? We did move during the night. This means that he gets an ambush on us. Group Navigate. Those who fail suffer 1 health damage. So we are going to roll Navigate. Fail. He made it. And the Zealous Bard fails. So we have 2 of us are suffering 1 health damage. All right. Then we have his action. So we rolled a... Did we roll? I don't think we did. He has so another thing. Sorry. He has Hatred Utility. So what Hatred is it is going to focus on that particular role type. So if we read the keyword here, it says opponents with hatred are more likely to target and deal more damage to heroes of a specific type. Heroes of the specified type suffer a +2 penalty to their target die, and those attacks deal damage equal to the opponent's level, extra damage. So he's a level 1. His attacks are going to do 1 extra damage. All right, so let's go ahead and roll, see what he does. We roll a 1, single, 2 health, and he heals 1 health. The heal is not going to matter. He's going to die. The 10 damage was enough. But let's see who is targeted. Zealous Bard is a 6. The Inquisitor is a 4 plus the hatred of +2 is a 6. And then our Cursed One is a 7. Cursed One is the target. So he takes, he's defending for 3. So he takes nothing. And that is it. We are done with facing the Hanged Man. And now we faced two undead opponents, the Inquisitor. So you can see that in the little box that I've written there. So that means he gains a Master Trophy. So he's becoming more powerful and gaining his abilities here, which is awesome. Let's put this away, and we get 2 gold. And we get to place down a clue. All right. Then we are going to have Noctis is going to act. He has 3 total collectors on the board. That means he goes up to 15 blood. He's almost gone through the first level of Ascension, and that will give him Agus. Okay, so then we're going to roll on his villain action die, and that is going to be, we are camping. That's a +2. Let's see what he does. That's a 3 + 2 is a 5. Group 1 piercing health damage. So we all take 1 health damage. Our poor bard goes down a little bit. So do the rest of us. I think we're going to camp one more time. Actually, that was the end of Meteor Shower. So Meteor Shower goes away. We are done with that. We can no longer find any more sky metal, but that's okay. We found 4 each, which was really serendipitous and good. So that ends our foray, I suppose that you would call it. Next thing that we might want to do is let's get back to a village and get these gear upgrades. I think that's a really good thing for us to do. So we are going to move as far as we can this time. Before we do, let's go ahead and use some potions. I'm going to use 2 potions, all that we have here, and he is going to gain 2 health or 2 energy. Let's go with 2 and 2, so he goes back up to 8 health. And then we'll do 1 extra over here, and he'll keep 2. All right, we do have the 1 critical wound here, and we did camp, so that critical wound would have gone away that last turn that we camped. So our Inquisitor is back down to 0 critical wounds, which is a good thing. All right, let's go ahead. So we're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And yeah, I think we can put another one of these on the board. And you can see we've got another crypt and 2 more boss locations. So all the crypts are right in this area. Oh, I guess we can't place one there. Yep, it's not going to fit. Nope. Okay, so we are going to roll our skills. We moved recklessly. Moving recklessly means that you are going to suffer some damage. 2 damage. Energy drain, actually. So I'm going to reduce our heroes accordingly. And then 2 energy drain for our bard as well. Then I think let's go ahead and use a lesser potion on the bard and on the cursed one, just in case we fight something this turn. I'm just going to give them a little bit more back. Okay, so our Zealous bard has 5 health. Our Inquisitor has 8. If you guys want to take a look to see how our characters are progressing here. There we have our Inquisitor. And note that we haven't gained a single rune yet in this game. We've been kind of sidetracked, and I took advantage of the of that event, the Sky Metal event. So I haven't really been focused on getting the and getting the runes, but that will be coming up in this next phase. All right, so rolling skills. You can only roll one of the two, blue or yellow. We have plenty of food, so I'm going to just auto fail my blue, and we're going to roll yellow and green. So we have a 5 and a 2, so that is 2 extra gold. And we fail on the green. Oh, crit fail on the green. That means we're going to wander. And the Zealous Bard is also going to roll. So if he's still not going to be able to make it. Let's roll to see if he gets any gold. Nope. All right, we're going to wander. We're going to roll a 6-sided die. Roll the hex die and consult the wander graphic. It's a hex. We go that way. We can't actually go that way because we can't place a hot tile there, or hex tile there, so we stay where we are. All right, so that is the skill phase. Now we have a encounter. We were operating during the night. We operated during the night last turn as well. So we are going to roll our circumstance for the round. Again, the hex die, and it's a 3, and check that out. It's the Lantern of Ways. Lantern of Ways. Treat the Lantern of Ways as an ally with a navigate rank of 9. It may not be targeted, but it can roll a stat test against navigate when an effect requires. One hero may use the Lantern's result instead of their own result. It may also roll against opponents with Outlast. If the Lantern of Ways ever rolls a critical failure, its light goes out and it may not be used until it is relit. A hero may relight the lantern, reactivating its powers by permanently sacrificing 1 health rank. Okay, so we have the Lantern of Ways, and we'll have the Inquisitor carry it. We're going to place down a new card here, and this is looks like Crimson Tower on I, hex tile I. So we actually have that one in play. That's all the way back over here. Okay. All right, so that's it for the circumstance phase. Let's go ahead and play Noctis's phase. He gains another 3 blood, goes up to 18. And our battle mat, we need the D12 villain action table. Let's see what he does. We move recklessly this turn, so we get a -2 bonus to this roll instead of the +2 that we've been used to from camping. And it's a hex, so that's awesome. Each hero loses 1 gold or 2 food. We also lost the food earlier on in that phase, so 2 food it is. And just like that, we're moving into the next game turn. Okay, moving during the night, we're going to move 1 into this village. Moving into this village, it means that we are able to turn in that meteor shower and gain those bonuses. So let's read that meteor shower. You may trade 1 sky metal for 1 gear upgrade of your choice in any location that sells items. So as long as we're here, we just get to do that. So let's go ahead and roll our skills. We moved cautiously. All right, fail, 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 all around. And our Inquisitor, fail, fail, fail. Maybe we're drinking the moonshine again. And the Zealous Bard is going to, it doesn't matter. It's fine. So it's okay. We don't actually wander because we move cautiously. We know where we're going. but we did fail those rolls. So we don't play the circumstance phase when we're in a village. That goes right into the event phase, which means we get 4 gear upgrades each. And they can go to anything. So I'm just going to kind of increase my skills here. All right, so I've gotten rid of all of our sky metal. We have a bunch of gold to use amongst us. So I think I'm going to take a few minutes to get ourselves kind of geared up here. And I'm using the back of the battle mat, has a nice items list on it, so that will give us, you know, a nice reference sheet here. Okay, so I'm done with spending our gold. Now we also are going to heal in a village, and we can see how that works here. The group may pay 1 gold total to stay at the end. Each hero heals health and energy up to their defend rank. So you're only going to heal up to your defend rank. Health and energy. All right. Thankfully, that puts 2 of us back to full. Our Inquisitor still is down 1 energy. Now I purchased hunter's gear for my Inquisitor, and for my cursed one. So anytime we face an opponent, we will be healing. We have 3 of them each, so we will be healing 3 health and 3 energy every time we vanquish an opponent. All right, so that is done for that phase. We're going to have Noctis is going to go. So he is going to gain another 3. He's up to 21. He has gone through the first level of Ascension now. He's at 21 blood, and that means he is now an Agus level 2 opponent. He's still considered a level 10, but he has Agus 2, which means you need 1 attack gear upgrade in order to deal health damage to him. All right, we're going to roll a d12 and see what his action is for the round. And it's a 12. He goes twice. We roll again. A 12 and a 10. Oh, no. So if you roll another 12, immediately add 1 to the blood pool for each collector in play. So he's at 24 now. 24 blood. And a 10 is also another collector appears on the board. We move during the night. So we are going to roll a 6-sided die and add 1. It's a 7. So let's see, 6, 7, right over here. Another blood collector has arrived in the villages. All right, so that is the end of the game turn. What are we on, like 8 or 9, 10 by now? Okay, next turn. Let's go for that real big batch of investigations. There was 3 investigations, and each one of them is a blue triangle rune. And remember, we're playing double up, so each time we get a rune, we get one. We get 1 additional of a random type. So this is going to be amazing for us. So we are going to move along the road, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this is a location that has some water on it and some land on it. Now if this didn't have any land on it, we would need a canoe to get into this location, which is purchasable in the monasteries. But because this is like a peninsula, we can actually go onto this location. So we are going to end our movement there. We're moving normally. We're going to roll skills. Let's go ahead. We're moving during the nighttime. 4, 10, 6. So we make a little bit of gold. I failed and need to eat. Oh man, I didn't spend I didn't spend gold on food in the village. So that was really dumb of me. I kept 12 gold for my cursed one, and I kept 15 gold for my Inquisitor because I want to buy, better stuff when we go into a monastery. But yeah, I didn't buy food. So poor management on my part, but that's okay. He's not starving yet. Inquisitor, Rue, rolling our dice. 4 is I make it. 6 is a failure. We also consume food. So between the two of us, we only have 4 food left in the group. All right. So he made navigate. We need 1 more navigate success in the group, and the Lantern of Ways can do it, and the Zealous Bard can also roll. So let's roll for the Zealous Bard. He's going to roll he needs a 4 or less. And it's a hex. So that is the Zealous Bard has helped us to locate this location. Okay, so now we play a encounter. We move during the night. And it's a 3 Crimson Tower. So we're going to place a clue on that location. Now, do we want to use the Dark Elf's ability to select an adjacent one? We could play the Abandoned Cellar event. Yeah, let's do it. All right, we are going to use the Dark Elf's ability to allow us to play the adjacent slot, and that is the Abandoned Cellar. Off the road a ways stands a vacant stone inn and tavern. It once housed travelers on weary nights. Stairs lead to the cellar, where you find 5 neatly lined barrels full of blood. The floor around them reveals that previous barrels were recently moved. So this must be a location for Noctis's agents. Check it out. There's an agent there's 2 agents right here. So they're using this location to deliver blood to Noctis's castle, somewhere in the wilderness we haven't found yet. So choose one. We could destroy the barrels. Each hero suffers 2 energy drain. Then roll the moon die and reduce the blood pool by the result. This die may explode, reduce the blood pool, or we can taste the contents. Each hero rolls a survival stat test with a +1 penalty. Those who succeed gain 2 vital ranks of their choice. Let's do that. Not that I really am really excited about tasting the contents, but our heroes are a little bit like, hey, what's going on in here? So there's power in the blood, huh? Let's see. All right, so we're going to roll survival with a +1 penalty. 8. So our cursed one fails. All right, and our Inquisitor, 9. So, and he also fails. So, of course, the heroes fail. That was our chance to reduce the blood pool, you guys, and we didn't take it. That's all right. So we are going to set this card aside, and then we're going to draw another one. And we have Full Moon. That is a survival investigation. And it looks like we also have that one on the board. So that is another red, and that is right here on the board. Okay. All right, so we've just done the circumstance. Now we get to try for these 3 investigations. We have 3 clues on this particular spot. So the first thing we need to do is we need to do this first one, the Lake Mysteries. Now, the guild headquarters basically states that each slot may contain up to 3 cards. The new investigations must be played as if they shared the same location as the original investigation. So we are going to play all 3 of these in order, and it's going to be in this location. All right, Lake Mysteries. gain a -1 bonus to skill rolls for each clue. Okay, so we get -3 bonus. Our cursed one is going to use his speciality to give us another -1 bonus to this roll. So we have a -4 bonus to these rolls. We need half of the group to make all three. All right, so our cursed one, -4 bonus, a 5 -4 is a hex, a 3 -4 is a hex, and a 10 -4 is a 6. And guess what? That does not. That is not a success. So we did not make Lake Mysteries for the cursed one. However, we did roll a hex because of that modification. In addition to the rune reward, heroes who critically succeed while attempting a skill investigation gain 1 rank to the stat of their choice. Let's go with health. That will help us in the end battle here. So that is what he's going to gain from his crit success bonus. Now we have to roll for the Inquisitor. The Inquisitor needs to get all 3 of these in order for us to advance and gain the bonus for this card. Now also, check it out. So there is a suspicion level on the bottom of this. It is 6+, and the trap is 3 blood. 3 blood. So what this means is if any hero rolls a 6 or higher, then the trap goes off and Noctis does something to the group. So if it's blood, you increase Noctis's blood pool by the amount shown for each hero who triggers the trap. So he just triggered the trap with a roll of a 6. He had a 10 minus the 4, so that's a 6. The trap goes off. Noctis gains 3 blood. Goes up to 27. Then we have the Inquisitor. Let's roll. We get a -4 to each of these rolls. 5 is a hex is a critical success. 3 is -5. 4 is a critical success. 9 -4 is a 5, and that is a success for the Inquisitor. The Inquisitor has made all 3 rolls, and 2 of them were crit successes. So he is going to gain. Let's go ahead and take that in his attack as his stat increase. Okay, so that is it for this particular card. We should probably read it here. I didn't read it. I should do that. Snarls, howls, and cries bounce across the water's surface. Mysteries lay in the depths of these waters. When you resolve this investigation, reveal cards from the night deck equal to twice the number of clues. We have 3 clues, so we get 6. You may play any non-investigation cards drawn and discard any of the revealed cards. Shuffle the rest back into the deck. So we get to draw 6 cards from the night deck, and we get to play them if we want to. Yep, yes please. First one, Canyon of Ascension. A deep place set between the Wraith Whale Towers and Deep Bog Sloth. We're actually near a bog, so that makes sense. Deep Bog Sloth seem to have different rules for gravity than anything you have ever before witnessed. Your bodies are imbued with the strange magic permeating this land. Permanently increase the group's movement speed by 1. Yes! So now we are moving at a rate of 6 normal and 3 cautious. That is awesome. So that's our first card. Our second card, Investigation. We don't play it. Third card, Investigation. We don't play it. Fourth, Investigation. Fifth, Investigation. And the 6th card, is an Affliction. I don't think we want to play the Affliction. Nope. All right, so... and that says discard any of the revealed cards. All right. So that is done. We have just received the blue rune. So we're going to write that on our battle mat. And when you receive a rune in double up, you get to roll for a random rune. There are 3 runes, so it's a d12 roll divided by 3. Roll of a 5 is a diamond. So we have gained a triangle and a diamond rune from this particular investigation. All right, placing that aside, we are now going to play the Hanged Man. A tree stands apart from the rest, a rope tied to one of the branches. It stands stark and tall, bare from any leaves, its mahogany bark a contrast against the dawning sky. A figure hangs forlornly from it, bending the branch with its weight. If any hero critically succeeds, gain 2 runes instead of 1. If any hero critically fails, locate and face the Hanged Man. And we've actually already fought the Hanged Man. So let's roll our dice. We are still in the same event phase, so we gain those bonuses again. It is a -4 to the roll. Or no, it's a -1 to the roll. Oh, we gain a -1 bonus to explore for each clue. So we also we still have the 3 clues. So this is a explore roll -4. 6 -4 is a 2. So we did not gain a critical bonus for the cursed one, but we did manage to make that roll. Let's see what the Inquisitor does. And the Inquisitor rolls a 10. Can the Bard help us and actually allow us to gain this extra rune? He is going to be also rolling and gets a -4 to the he gets -4 to the roll because of the clue. It's a 9 -4 is a 5. His rank is 4. We do not get the extra rune, but that's okay. We do get we did manage to get the regular rune. Now, we did have let's see, 10 minus. We did not have any of us. None of the cards were over a 7, and the 7 is the trap. So we do not suffer the trap's effect. We do gain a blue rune, triangle rune from this card. So we'll write that down here, and then we get to roll a 12-sided die and gain a random rune. And it's an 8. An 8 is also another diamond. So we've gained 2 blue and 2 green. Moving on, we have one more to go, and this is the Cult of Blood. Parchment is pinned to a tree with an iron nail. It is a recruitment effort for Noctis. It doesn't take long to locate the cult's deserted hideout. They are gone, the fire is nothing but ashes, and the ground is caved from rested bodies. Ceremonial candle remains lying a symbol carved in the center. If you impart this rune to a monastery, we also gain a sovereign elixir. So we, let's see, gain a lesser potion for each clue. So we're going to gain 3 lesser potions. Doesn't really help us too much at the moment, but we'll take them. And then we are going to note that the suspicion level is a 7+. So if we roll a 7 or higher, then this trap will go off, and it is a -4 energy trap. Now, we don't gain any bonuses to these stats, so we are simply gaining the Cursed One's bonus that he is given. We're rolling yellow and green, and we need one of us to make both rolls. 2 and a hex. Cursed One is going to gain another rank increase because of that hex. So that is awesome. Let's go ahead and we are going to give him a speciality rank increase. He made both. So we've already won this investigation. We've already gotten this investigation. Rue, our Inquisitor, going to roll yellow and green Oh, and he misses both. Oh, and that's actually going to set off the trap. That sure does. It sets off the trap. So he is going to lose 4 energy to this. A rune blasts from the parchment, and he suffers some damage. But no matter, our heroes have managed to gain another blue rune. So we can place this card aside. And we will roll one more time for a random rune. And we get a 2, which is going to be the circle rune. So we have 1, 2, 3. We have 1 circle rune, 2 diamond runes, and 3 of the triangle runes. So now things are starting to look up for us. We're going to take this off the board. We are done with all of those investigations. We're going to clear the clues from the board, and then we're going to refill that day slot. So we have drawn a heroic card for the Scourge Eater, and the Scourge Eater is not in play. So we're going to discard and draw another card. And check it out, it's a interrupt. We have to play this card right now. All right, you find yourselves at the edge of a great cliff. That kind of makes sense. We were just talking about the other chasm that we were looking at near the Sloth Bog or whatever. You find yourselves at the edge of a great cliff. The sun is shining and there is not a cloud in the sky. A clear view of the horizon stretches out, revealing the surrounding land as far as the eye can see. Draw and place 4 random hex tiles in any orientation you choose. After you refill the empty circumstance slot, roll for and play another circumstance. You may adjust this roll by 1. So that's pretty awesome. We get to place 4 more hex tiles on the board. That's going to be almost all of them. I'm going to have to get up to do that. All right, so I've just placed the rest of those tiles. We have Noctis's castle on the board. It's right over here. So we know where the bad guy is, and we can now prepare to face him in the end. I've just redrawn the next card, and it is the heroic card for the monk. I'm going to place that aside. We do not have him. Just placed the Ascendant, our From On High. This is our living card. If we play this card, we would have a whole story arc where angels are coming down and they're looking for their lost angel comrade, Reveziel, the Fallen. So we're not going to play that. This is more of a story arc that would happen. So let's go, and we have this one is another interrupt. We have to play it. False information. Whispers, rumors, and songs spread throughout Krasvetelia like wildfire. But misinformation can often lead to death in these lands. Agents are actively sowing fear and falsities. Each turn after the skill phase, discard a random clue. Now, if we have an assist, we do. You may spend 2 energy to roll Explore. If you do not discard a clue this turn. This affliction remains for 4 game turns. All right, so this I'm going to place here, and I'm going to put a counter on it to note that we are going to play it next turn. Then we are going to refill the slot, and we get the Long Night. And this is unavoidable if we play it. It doesn't play right away. Now we are still doing the cliff view, which is play, you may adjust the roll by 1. So we're going to play another circumstance. I'm going to roll the 6-sided die. We roll a 1, and we'll just keep it, and we'll add a clue to it. Okay. So we are now done. That was a very lucrative game turn for us. We just got a lot more powerful and we don't even know it yet. But that's worth a ton of power-ups for us. All right. We have to turn it in before we can get those power-ups. So I think the next thing we're going to do is we've played through the event phase. Now we're going to have Mirza Noctis's phase. Let's go ahead and roll for him. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 total collectors on the board. That means he's up to 31 blood, and he's almost ascended to the next level already. Okay, so we're going to roll a d12. We moved normally, and that's 12. We'll take it. We won't worry about re-rolling. All right, so we roll two 12-sided dice, 12, and we get 2 4s. The group must act during the opposite time next turn than they did this game turn. That's not so bad. So we moved during the day last turn, so we are going to move during the night this turn. Or did we move during the night? We moved during the night. We moved during the night because we got the Lantern of Ways. So we have to move during the day this next game turn. Okay, next game turn. Let's unlock a crypt and get some blood magic. We're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to roll our 3 dice. Made it, missed it. Oh, we don't have food to really do this. That's right. I should really consider maybe not doing this. That's all right. We already did it. We're doing it. We're going to try it. Still going to send it. All right. We're going to roll 3 dice here. We have 9 is a failure, a 6 is a failure, and a 5 is a success. So we're eating a lot of food. We have 1 food left between us. We need to get more. Otherwise, we're going to starve to death in the wilderness. That will be a very bad thing. Our bard, we've both lost our navigate. So the only chance we have left is if the lantern makes it. We can roll the navigate for our lantern of Ways. That's a 7. And it makes it. Its rank is 9. So we managed to change one of our, the Inquisitor uses the Lantern of Ways to locate this crypt. It's a really foggy morning and we can't really see very well. So that is going to help. All right. Next up is we end movement in a crypt. Let's take a look at how that works. All right, so activating runes in a crypt. First of all, skip the circumstance phase while here. All crypts are locked at the start of the game and are only accessible if the group has a crypt key. Each time a crypt is revealed on the map, place a locked crypt token on that location. Crypts may be unlocked and the token removed in one of 3 ways. Expend a crypt key. We don't have one. Roll all skills during the event phase. 1 hero must succeed on all 3 rolls. So that's what we're going to try to do. Or exiting to a locked crypt from inside the dungeon will unlock it. So each time a new crypt is unlocked, all monasteries sell new items. The group may enter the dungeon under an unlocked crypt, and runes can be activated here. So what we're going to do is we are entering the event phase. We have no circumstance, and we're going to roll skills. Egor is going to give us a bonus from speciality. And let's see what this is. He's actually gotten a rank now, so he is going to be granting us different bonuses. So if you can see that as a -1 to navigate, a -2 to survival, and a -2 to explore. So -1, 2, 2. So that means that his bonus is no longer a -1 across the board. It's bonuses to each one. So we're going to roll for the cursed one first. 10 minus 2 is a failure. 8 is a failure. 9 is a failure. Okay. Failure. Just failure. Our Inquisitor. Can he do it? I don't know. 2. Hex. 7 fails. But we have the Lantern of Ways. The Lantern of Ways can re-roll. We had a success on the yellow. We had a success on the blue. Let's see if we can get the Lantern of Ways to re-roll. 7. We make it. So we've opened this crypt. This is the first crypt that we've opened. And that means we now have access to other equipment and supplies in the monastery. In any monastery. All right, and it also means we can do our activating of runes here. So activating sets, let's see. Mark the rune type on the table below and add to the total number of activations, then discard those runes. Each hero gains a power-up for each rune activated, and the group draws a power-up and gains twice its bonus for every other activation. So we are going to turn in an entire set here. If you remember, we have 1 of each, and we have 2 of the green and 3 of the blue. So we're going to get rid of 1 of each. We're each going to gain 3 power-ups. Okay, and then you're going to write on your placard here, we have turned in 1 of each. Our total activations is 3, which means we get the first set of 2, and this power-up is going to be a group power-up that we get twice the bonus for. All right. Then we have 2 blue and 1 green left. So why don't we just do all of them? Well, let's not do all of them. We'll do 1 more blue. So we're going to do 1 more blue. And that's going to give us, that's going to give us the 4th activation, which means we get a second group power-up. Okay. And it means we also get 1 more. So that's what we get. 4 power-ups apiece, 2 group power-ups. Let's do the group power-ups first. Group power-ups gain twice its bonus. What do we have here? Awesome. +2 attack, +2 defend. It's twice the bonus. That's +4 attack, +4 defend. Ooh. Twice the bonus on a favored opponent card. Gain 1 additional favorite opponent from the list below. Awesome. So each of us is going to gain, 1 additional favored opponent. Actually, 2 additional favorite opponents. So let's go with Spirit and Undead. And let's go with... Construct and Magical Nature. That will round us out fairly well. All right, so that is done. Let's go ahead and give our +4 attack and defend. That's amazing. That's amazing. Just like that, we are totally endgame now. Endgame. All right, let's go away. Let's do our Inquisitor here. We have lots to look over. So we have a +2 Explorer. We have, do you think we'll find a collector there, or are we too late? We have a +1 first mastery and explore. We have a +1 to defend. And we have another favored opponent card. So we will go with, let's go with humanoid. All right, so that's that. I gotta keep track of these too, because some of these have the bonuses, the night bonuses and modifiers. So okay, and then for our cursed one, we have +2 navigate. We have +3 navigate. We have +3 explore. And we have a +1 second mastery and +1 navigate. So he is going 3, 4, 5, 6. All of a sudden he's up to rank 10 navigate, rank 8 for explore, and rank 3 for speciality. And that's all she wrote for this turn-in cycle. That was awesome. All right, so we had a couple of blood modifier cards here show up. We have +4, +5, -1, so +4. We're gonna roll the d12 and add 4 to that this turn. That's gonna be kind of harsh. But one other thing to note, we just turned in a set to the crypt. That means we are going to gain blood magic. Okay, so the group may learn to perform blood magic spells for each tier attained. The group draws 1 blood magic card. So let's shuffle these. Hey Mouse, how you doing, bud? You want to learn some blood magic with us? You want to do that? You want to talk to the camera? No, maybe not. All right, so what do we get for our blood magic? Spectral steed. All right, this is 4 critical health, but it allows us during the event phase, we can move. Oh, now you're going to speak, huh? Josh? Such a good boy. During the event phase, move up to 3 hexes, gain 5 time, or the group flees combat, even against tenacious opponents. This spell cannot be used to flee from level 7 or higher opponents. So this is just going to allow us to move up to 3 hexes during the event phase. Well, hi. So now blood magic is something that the entire group can learn. And so critical health, remember, is something that you can only sustain a certain number of. When you do, you suffer some damage. Well, I know. I agree. Totally. You suffer some damage, and then you can perform this spell. I'm going to take him OUT because I think that's where he wants to go. So thanks for just holding for a moment.